Welcome to Inside the Ropes, a new 12-part series for Boxing Social. I'm Gareth A. Davies. If you remember Fight Club, that's now done. That was a 12-part series. This is a new one taking you through the autumn. I'm here today at the Joyce Zhilei Zhang or Zhilei Zhang Joyce 2 press conference. I'm going to be joined by Zhilei Zhang, by Joyce, by Frank Warren and other people in the boxing industry. We're going to have a lot of fun with them. We're going to go inside the ropes, but we're going to talk about outside the ropes as well, because people in boxing can't just fight, they have fascinating lives. Come with me. Well, I'm delighted to say I've been joined here at the Zhilei Zhang Joyce 2 press conference. Obviously it's a rematch from the April fight by the one and only legendary Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren. Frank, good afternoon, how are you?
I'm fine, Gareth, how are you doing?
I'm looking good, but I don't look as sartorially elegant as you always do today.
It's true, very true.
Come on, who's your tailor?
Who's my tailor?
Yeah,
I've got a few
I imagine.
tailors. Yeah, I'll go to Ruben Archie and a nice Italian tailor who I like down in Mount Street, and I go to Tom Sweeney.
You've always had that elegance about you. Where does that come from?
Always been, when I was a kid, always been into clothes. My dad was quite a smart guy, my uncles were, so that's always been how I grew up.
Well, I just think it says a lot about you, and they always say that you can tell a lot about a man by his shoes. The camera isn't panning down to your shoes right now, but a lot of men, their wife will dress them or they'll ask her opinion. Do you ask Susan if you're wearing the right things, or does she just know you're going out looking $1 million?
No, I don't. I very, very rarely ask her. Very, very rarely. I can't think of any times I've asked her.
Look,
if I can't get myself ready, then at my age, then I'm really struggling.
I've had the privilege of many occasions with you, both in your office, at dinners, at lunches. You're an old school guy. I want to say an old school gangster,
old
but you're
geezer.
not. You're not
old geezer.
No. You're not an old geezer. I'm an old geezer now. But what are the things outside boxing that motivate you? Because I know you collect. I've been to your offices. You collect extraordinary art. You've got some amazing things from around the world. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I've always been interested in art since I was a kid. I was very good at art when I was at school. Very good at it. It's one of my favourite subjects. Yeah. And I go to a lot of exhibitions, and I have collected over the years. But
you've collected Neiman's as well, haven't you?
The old box, the old box. You've got some Bankses, Warhols. My wife's she's a bigger collector than me.
How good are you at drawing? Don't be modest.
I drew the biggest crowd I drew was 94.
No.
How good am I?
George, your son, told me about this over dinner the other night.
Really,
he said, ask my dad, because I've never had a chance to ask him this. He said he's brilliant at drawing.
Yeah, I'm not bad.
Do you sit at home with the easel ever, or do you not have time? Or
it's a terrible thing. My kids, my wife, they're always buying me, like,
for Christmas, a birthday, all the drawing gear.
And I've got stacks of them, and I never get around. I'll just sort of, I'll do a bit of doodling when I'm on my own.
Yeah. What do you draw?
Anything.
Really?
Whatever's in my mind.
Why don't you have an exhibition then? Why don't you have an exhibition?
Listen, I'll make enough of an exhibition myself.
I was going to say, you'll probably start drawing when you retire, but you'll never retire, will you?
I've got no, I'm quite happy. I mean, I had a few bit of battles with health this year, which thankfully, touch wood, I seem to be, got through them. So, as long as my health's there and I've got the, as I'd say, or where I come from, the flavour for this, which I have, I enjoy it, then I'm going to keep doing it. And I do enjoy it, and they're all new challenges. Like this fight on Saturday. This is a really good heavyweight fight. These two guys, it's so important for them. The winner of this fight becomes the mandatory challenger for the WBO version of the title. Yeah. So he'll get a crack at it next year. The loser, because of mandatories and hopefully unification, he's going to be out in the cold for a couple of years.
And they're 38 and 40.
They're no younger, so it's a big moment in time in their careers. So there's so much at risk for both of them, and that's why I want to see it on Saturday. But, so I've got, I like the I love all sport. I went to Arsenal last night, watched them whack PSV 4-0. And that was good. I go to. I mean, I like my food. I dine out a lot.
Favourite restaurant? You've
It
got a few.
It depends. Yeah, it depends what mood you're in. Whatever. Well, I do like. I like Scots. I go to the George, which is a private members club restaurant. I love going to Cicconi's. Go there.
The Delaunay. Do you go there?
I've been there, but I'm not a big...
Lunch. Lunch at the Delaunay is good.
I'm sort of, be quite honest, the places I go to, the places I frequent most of the time. As you get older, now and again I'll move out of my comfort zone and try somewhere else. And I go to a lot of concerts. Always, I go to Ronnie Scott's quite a bit. And that's what I like doing. I like going out and enjoying myself.
Is that an antidote to the pressures that you are under with the relentless world of boxing?
Do you know what? When I started out, it was pressure. But the pressure became a way of life. So at the end of the day, it's pressure, but you don't realise it's pressure. And I think anybody who's doing well in any sport is that you deal with the pressure. The pressure spurs you on and makes you better at what you do.
Is this as interesting or as good, even though we're slightly delayed with some of the fights happening, as good or as interesting a period you've ever been involved in your career, especially with the heavyweights?
It's a massive, interesting period. Things are happening. One fight's not happened at the moment.
Yeah.
It's only one fight.
The Fury-Usyk fight, or the Fury-Joshua fight.
Well, Joshua,
big.
Joshua didn't want to know, did he?
No.
Say how it is.
100% on that, yeah?
Well,
They've steered him away.
Twice.
They steered him away. You think Eddie Hearn definitely steered him away?
They thought they was going to get a massive payday fight in Wilder, which we knew would not happen. But irrespective of that...
What's happened with that then? Is it...
I don't know.
But the group you're working with has kind of taken over, it looks like.
Well, we're working with His Excellency and his team, and they're great people to work with, and they're massive.
You weren't fibbing when you said game changer, were you?
I knew it was
People doubted what you were saying on that.
But it is a game changer. And what is important, even bigger than that, is that you look at the landscape. You go back to when I was very young. You wanted to go and see big fights.
In the 20s?
Yeah, in the 20s. You go back.
You're talking what, the 60s or 70s now?
You want to see the big fights.
Yeah.
You'd go. Like Ali Frazier, first fight was in New York.
Yeah.
But then it became Vegas when they started doing. Saudi Arabia are building a new city. That city will be the Vegas of this
generation and this era.
It will be. Yeah. And the good thing about it, any fights that go on there, you're not going to be sitting up if you're at home.
Yeah.
Wait until 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. You're going to get them at prime time.
Yeah.
And you're going to see some great boxing there. It's going to be not just boxing, everything. Concerts, everything. The vision is just unbelievable.
You've never known anything like it.
No, I haven't. And the commitment, and it's just such a dynamic approach, and they will make it happen. There's no doubt in my mind. And for us to be, involved at that level is brilliant. And I see that as a massive opportunity and a challenge. And for these young fighters coming through, where people talk about, I want to fight in Vegas, I want to, that's what they're going to be talking about, I want to be fighting in Neon. That's where they're going to be talking.
Yeah. It's very interesting that there's lots of ways some people look at it negatively, but I think, and I think they're wrong too, because I think this is a coming together of East and West, of cultures. I was at a card in Abu Dhabi the other day. There were 4 continents, 11 countries represented. It was only a small card, but there wasn't a European or an American on the card, and yet there were 11 countries, 7 of them Arab countries.
The world has expanded, it's opened up, it's not just how it was, it's changed. I mean, when I started out in boxing, did I think I was going to have a Yemeni world champion? No,
Prince Nazim Ahmed, obviously.
Never even thought it in a million years. The world's changing, and you've got to move with the times, and innovate and develop. And there is opportunities there, and I mean it in the best possible way, to take advantage of being involved in those things. And these fighters today, they've got, they're all on the cusp of absolutely being special fighters, of becoming unique and special human beings, making fortunes, being role models. It's a great opportunity for them.
In the next 6 months, do you think we'll see the undisputed heavyweight title?
I hope so.
And I'm assuming it will be Tyson Fury against someone.
Well, he comes through this fight. I believe he'll come through this fight. It's tough. People just write this guy off.
Francis Ngannou.
I don't write him off. And I tell you, I don't write him off. I've never been a big UFC fan, but I started watching his fights. First of all, UFC, it's like it's a great story. It's like a no holds barred, isn't it? Everything. They're all roughhouse guys.
Oh, they're very, very rough men. Yeah.
So
and women.
He is not going to outbox Tyson Fury, in my opinion. I can't see him doing that. So how's he going to win? He's going to have to put it on Tyson. He's going to have to intimidate Tyson.
Yeah.
He's going to have to put Tyson out of his stride and land those big punches that he has got in his arsenal. No doubt about it, he's a big puncher. People look at Tyson and think, he's going to get on his bike and jab and move around. Tyson hasn't done that for his last 4 or 5 fights. He's planted his feet and had tear-ups. So what he's done, he's gone toe-to-toe with the biggest punching heavyweight of his generation. And Deontay Wilder went toe-to-toe with him. So you're going to see fireworks whilst it lasts. Whilst it lasts, it'll be exciting.
Quick one on Tyson Fury. You mentioned Nazim Hamid, Ricky Hatton, Amir Khan, Frank Bruno, Joe Calzaghe. Gosh, who am I forgetting? There's loads of fighters you've worked with, both British and European and world. Is Tyson Fury, pound for pound, the biggest star that you've worked with, or is it the era we're in?
He's the biggest star.
Yeah.
By none.
Country mile, yeah.
By none. I mean, look at the press conference last week. 180 million people watched the press conference. Wow. He's huge.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's the biggest star. I think that he can. Well, he's cementing his legacy as being the best heavyweight of his generation. No, for me, no doubt about that. And I genuinely think that, when we look back, and he's got way to go yet. It's not like he's got miles on the clock. He's got quite a few fights if he wants to do it in him, and I think that people will look back on him with real reverence. Because one thing he's done whenever he's got in the ring, he's got that. He's a good fighter, but he's barely solid. Those fights, that last fight he had with Wilder was epic.
Oh yeah.
That was the best heavyweight fight I've ever attended.
Yeah. I agree with you, and it's seen as one of the top 5 heavyweight fights of all time.
A lot of the old fights, but that for me was the best heavyweight.
3 posers to finish with. Prime Mike Tyson versus a prime Muhammad Ali. Who wins?
Muhammad Ali.
Prime Mike Tyson against a prime Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury.
A prime Lennox Lewis against a prime Tyson Fury. That's a hard one, isn't it?
It is a hard one, but I would lean towards Tyson. It's a hard fight.
You've got to say that now. You've got to say that now.
No, I haven't got to say it. I'll say how it is. I think he'll be.
What a terrific fight that would be.
6'9".
Yeah.
He's an absolute.
What?
People don't get that. He's a freak. I mean that.
No, he is.
He don't look like he's not carved out of marble.
Yeah.
He's not. He's got massive stamina.
Yeah.
He's got a great boxing brain.
Yeah.
He's got so agile, and he's got a chin like granite. And what I mean by that, fighters with good chins get off the floor.
Yeah. The weird thing about him is, as well, the book belies the cover, doesn't it? The cover belies what's in the book, because he's got the tyres there sometimes, and he's got the DNA.
And by the way, he's training constantly. That's his body. That's
he
his
has
body.
to.
That's his body.
And not only that, 500 million people are watching him on Netflix.
Well, there you go. He was the #1 biggest selling Netflix show ever in the UK.
It's quite extraordinary, isn't it?
3 #1 books.
Yeah, he's an extraordinary talent. And I'll agree with you, and you've never said it to me, and I appreciate you've never said to me, what are you doing in his dressing room before a fight? Because I've been, as you know, I've been in the corner there watching, observing 3 times. at different fights of his recent ones.
Yeah.
And for me, he's almost like nerveless, like in a trance before he goes out there. Is it that? I think he's a freak for that as well.
All guys I've seen, everybody's different in dressing rooms because they're different people. You know, they've got different makeup.
Yeah.
For him, it's like he's going down the shop to buy a newspaper. There's no nerves.
Yeah.
No nerves.
Yeah.
He believes in himself, and he lived through it. He thrives on boxing. He thrives on adversity, and he's beaten that. And it's brilliant what he's done in boxing. But as a person, to beat the addictions that he had, and where he was with, suicidal, that is a bigger achievement than anything else he's done.
That is why Frank Warren is an absolute legend and a Hall of Famer in the sport. I could talk to him for hours. You could listen to him for hours. I scratched the surface with him there, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure, man.
Thank you very much. And he still calls me young man, which I mean, I can't.
You're young. Everybody's younger than me.
Joe, you're absolutely confident this time. I've spoken to Ismail Salas. I know what you're going to do. Start fast, be more elusive, use your feet more.
Don't give it all away.
Punch. I know, but he didn't tell me this. I told him and he agreed. I'm not saying that I know the game plan, but this is what I suggested. You'll start faster, be more elusive, use your footwork a little bit more, land quicker, and after the 5th round, you'll tire him and you'll stop him in the 10th round. That's my prediction.
Yeah, it's quite a good prediction. Yeah, that's hopefully it goes down that way. I've taken out all stops in this camp. I'm very focused and dedicated in what I need to do. Recognise Zhang as a threat. He's the shrewd character with good skills, and his team behind him as well, and what he's been doing in the ring to prepare for me for this rematch. So it's going to be a must-win fight for me, and I'm very focused and dedicated in what I need to do. And the things you mentioned, they're noted, and I'm sure I'll be doing something like that along them lines, possibly. So I'm just hungry to get the title back and get back to winning ways, and then I can view the landscape and see where next.
You want Tyson Fury, you want Alexander Usyk, you want Anthony Joshua, presumably.
Oh yeah, I prefer to go to the titles first, but the Joshua fight would be lucrative, but that's another risk as well. Like once I get the title back, I want to go and get the get the mandatory.
Joe, you sparred many rounds in Vegas, I understand, with Francis Ngannou, and he's facing Tyson Fury very soon. Can you tell us about that sparring and what it was like? Because people like Sam Jones, people I know, said it was absolutely hammer and tongs you and him.
Yeah, he hits hard. Like he was swinging, and he was a little bit open because I think boxing is a little bit more refined. But him solely focusing on boxing is going to make the difference. And once he hits and he lands, he's a very dangerous and very powerful puncher. So, especially with him working with Mike Tyson, I'm very interested to see what kind of effect he can have. Like seeing his training and in the fight, and if that can come out in the fight, then Tyson Fury's got to be on his A game, because you don't want to get hit cleanly by Ngannou.
And that's your takeaway from being in the ring with him for how many rounds?
Did like 4 rounds. This is like in preparation for the bar in the first camp, when at the end of it, then COVID broke out. So he's a good fighter, and I normally see him in the gym. So I normally chat to him in the UFC when he was there. And I'm looking forward to this fight. I think it's very interesting to see what's going to go down.
Joe, I've got to ask you, did you suffer any mental anguish after the fight with Zhilei Zhang in April, or I interviewed you in the ring afterwards. Marvelous was there, your mum,
yeah.
And she was like very protective, arms around you, hugging her baby straight away.
Well,
but do you
that's
go?
what mothers do.
No, it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful person, your mother. I think she's amazing. Do you deal with mental anguish, or do you just put it down as a bad night, or how do you deal with it?
It was tough, and it's something I have to. I've had losses in the amateurs, so I know what it feels like. But as a pro, is a bit more concentrated, like heightened, because you know people normally want to celebrate after celebrate your wins, and to see people with like disappointed faces and stuff was quite hard. And obviously looking back, when I watched my fight back, because I always watch my fight back and analyse my performance, and I saw there were some successful moments, but you know, I could be having a good day and then I'd have a thought that, and remember what happened. So it's a lot better when you win, you have that, and you're like, oh yeah, I won. Like remembering what happened last week or like the other day or yesterday, and it's better to when you've won and you look back and like, yeah, I beat him, and you feel it's a totally different feeling.
Are you an emotional person or not?
I'm not really an emotional person, but like it is quite hard to take a loss.
You said this isn't about revenge.
What is it? Redemption.
About redemption.
Yeah, so it's about me redeeming myself, where I don't think I fulfilled like my potential in winning that fight, and there's bits that I need to bolt on and add to my game that I have done for this camp.
How's the eye?
I was fine. Everyone talking about my eye, my weight, these different things, but I was only bruised. It wasn't was no fractures, so it healed within a week. And like, you know, my right ear was actually bruised, and that was so I couldn't sleep on that side, which was a bit annoying. But other than that, I felt, you know, the next day I felt like, normally, because after a fight you have a lot of aches and pains and you realise, oh, I've got like bumps and like bruises on my face, but I was apart
just
from
your ear?
Yeah, my ear and my eye was
yeah.
the problem. I didn't have any, I didn't feel like I had, I think my shoulder, looking back, was a little bit tender, and I noticed that in the fight as well, but it's only them like little bits and pieces, but I felt like pretty fresh afterwards.
Had Frank Warren on earlier on the show, and he was talking to me about his love of culture and art, and he buys, as you probably know, he buys a lot of art. He's got some Warhols, he's got Banksy, he's got some Neiman's, the beautiful boxing portraits. Obviously, I always bang on about this, try to get you in the fine art competition with Evening Standard, but you refuse to do it. Because you're too good for that. Don't you remember you said I'm too good for that? My art's too good for that.
I don't remember saying that.
I did.
I don't even remember
that
what. I don't know what you're talking about.
There was an Evening Standard competition, $5,000 for pieces of art, and I've seen some of your art, and it's.
But what, would I enter a piece of my art? I've already done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
you kind of like brushed me off like I was like swatting a fly that day, but it doesn't matter. But what I want to say is, can we get you, please? Because I spoke to Marvel to do an exhibition at some point going forward.
Yes, I'd love to. I'd love to sell my art, but not for $5,000.
Want a lot more for it.
Yeah.
So I've got no chance if I'm offering $5,000 for one of them.
Well, it depends on the size. Maybe I could.
Have you done any painting in the since April? Since you lost?
I haven't actually done much, apart from like drawing in the shower. I do a little bit of that, or sometimes kind of doodles, but like it's just kind of like to get my eye in there, like doing like different shapes and different things, like here and there.
Here's the shape you want for Saturday night.
Yeah.
That one. Big W. Big W. Check out Joe's art. Is there a place where people can check it out on a website or not?
Not yet. I don't believe. I think. No, I need to put it up there. But I'm sure if you put in a Google search or whatever, Joyce art, there'll be some images that will come up.
There are. Paint the canvas. Joyce coloured on Saturday night. We wish you all the best. You look big, but you look big and strong and fast and fit.
Yeah, I feel that.
Do you want to fight in Saudi Arabia at some point?
Yeah, that's where the money's at, and that's where they're putting on the big fights and big nights. So I'm up for that.
It's great to see you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time. I'm here with Zhilei Zhang and his translator Kurt. I have to do something because Zhilei Zhang knows that I speak a little bit of Chinese and I lived in Beijing for a year. 我的朋友在 London, Zhang. 你是西装，很漂亮啊，很漂亮 very beautiful jacket.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Can I begin by asking you,
Were you okay with the rematch with Joyce? Were you okay with it? Or because really you wanted to fight Fury or Usyk, didn't you?
二番战，其实你打从心里接受吗？
打心里面是不接受的，但是不接受，因为我们一番战有协议在一番战里面，我们要履行协议，不接受也得接受。
It's a good question. From the bottom of my heart, I was not okay, but we have this contract, we have the rematch clause, but I had to do it.
He says he had a bad night. You will say, no, you have his number. Is that right? You have his number in the ring.
你已经他的气数到你那儿已经进了，是这意思吗？
呀，基本上二番战打完之后，我估计他的职业生涯也即将结束。
Oh yeah, I think when the second fight coming to an end this Saturday, his pro career will also come to an end.
How has your life changed since you beat Joyce? We all think you beat Hrgovic anyway. We thought you won that fight, clearly. Has your life changed in China? I know you're based in America a lot, but has your life changed? Are you given respect and acclaim and praise in China for what you've done?
你赢了乔伊斯，赢了 Hrgovic， 他肯定觉得你赢了 Hrgovic。赢了这几场大赛之后，你在中国或者中国的这个社区、华人这个社区里面受到的尊敬，有没有被体现出来？
有，走在街上，很多拳迷都会和我打招呼，然后都知道我是拳王，都说为中华民族争光，增加荣耀，为中国人争气。所以说，我作为一个中国人，我感觉这就是我的使命。然后，我感觉我很骄傲，我很自豪。
Yeah, I feel really proud because in the last few months or years, my profile in China really grew a lot. And when I walk on the street, people would stop their car and get out of the car and take a picture of me. And they say I'm fighting for the country. They're proud of me. I feel like this is my mission.
So what happens on Saturday night against Joyce?
周六跟乔伊斯会怎么样的结果？
比一番战更快，结束的更快，然后把 TKO 的 T 字去掉，直接变成 KO。
I think it's going to be a faster finish than the first fight. I don't like that T in TKO. I would take that T away.
So it's a KO.
KO.
Big Bang Jang KO.
Yes.
Yeah? Can I finally ask you, because we've gone outside boxing, behind the ropes, inside the ropes and outside the ropes in these interviews today, what do you like away from boxing, outside boxing? What do you like to do culturally? Are you into music? Do you write poetry? What do you like to do when you're not involved in boxing?
拳击之外有什么爱好吗？
拳击之外，我喜欢射击，喜欢去靶场打枪，因为打枪能够使我冷静，使我能够专注。
Yeah. So I don't know if it's allowed to talk about it here, but he said I like shooting.
You like shooting?
Like shooting.
Not piano.
Like gun range.
Shooting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shooting makes me focus.
Okay. So you go on the range shooting, not shooting animals
不是
or
打人、打动物，好像是打枪、
打靶。
Target shooting.
target shooting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll make sure that I don't upset you. But in your range, in your target right now is Joyce, no?
那现在你的
Very
是
focused.
乔伊斯是吧？
Yeah， 现在他就是我的，现在他就是我的猎物，就是我的那个目标。我会这个拳头就是我的
Look
炸
at
弹。
that big old fist. That is a big old fist, isn't it?
我会用我的炸弹继续炸他的眼睛。
Yeah, that's the target. Joe is the target. He's the center target, and this is the bullet down the barrel.
That's the bully. That's the bullet and the bully from the last fight. Mr. Zhang, Zhilei Zhang, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for your time today. Kurt,
Thank you, Gareth.
thank you for your time
Appreciate
today.
it.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, we've heard from Frank Warren today. We've heard from Joyce. We've heard from Zhilei Zhang. Of course, we're here at the Zhang Joyce 2 press conference at the Drum in Wembley. I'm joined now by a fascinating character, someone I've been friends with a long time in boxing, and she has the job. Hi, Mel.
Hi.
Melissa, you are the public relations person for Top Rank and really for Tyson Fury here.
Yeah.
At home with the Furies, 3 best-selling books, one of the biggest events we've ever seen in Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia to open the Riyadh season. I understand you've just been over there.
I have.
Do you ever get to tell Tyson Fury off?
No. Maybe when we go behind the doors and I'm like, oh my God, you just... No, the classic is when I'm like, Tyson, you're just about to go live on Sky Sports. And I'll be like, no swearing, or ESPN, no swearing. And they'll go, what, like this, Mel? And they'll do like a reel of swearing. And I'll be like, no, come on. And then he'll actually do it sometimes, and it's not until he comes off. I can tell him off like afterwards, but you always have a laugh with him.
You deal with a lot of fighters, and you're helping to promote them, you're finessing what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known him a long time. My view is, I don't know if you agree with this, he has an instinctual feel for what people are looking for.
Absolutely.
And for what TV wants and what radio wants
100%.
and what journos want.
100%. I don't ever brief him. That's how crazy it is. I never, like with Josh Taylor, Michaela Mayer, I might even with them say, you're going on here, it's live, it's this, or it's just focus more on this. He did something for Barstool which was completely off key. It was nothing to do with boxing. And halfway through, he turns, he goes, is this a boxing interview or not? And I was like, no, it's not, got you. It's like almost like a game. He knows from the minute he sat down with somebody exactly what they want. Does he need to be comedic? Does he need to be giving them a bit of grief, scare them? And he's so smart, he's so intelligent. Tyson knows everything that's going on and everything that's happening. He's so smart.
And you've been out in Saudi.
Yes.
You've just come back from Saudi Arabia. How big is this? I spoke to Frank Warren about it.
Yeah.
He called it a game changer before it was announced. We've seen how enormous it is. 180 million views that press conference did in London a couple of Thursdays ago.
Exactly.
I know there's probably things you can't reveal,
Yeah.
but what's going on right now in Saudi with everyone meeting each other, and what are they planning, if you like, from a PR perspective?
Obviously, like I'm expected, aren't I, from PR to be like, this is the biggest thing. No, it really is. And I think that it's going to open a massive market because you're bringing MMA into it, which has never been part of it. Like if you have a Fury AJ or Wilder AJ, whatever, it's just boxing and it's just in our boxing world. But you're bringing an MMA crowd into this and it's global. And I'm not joking. I went out there with a slight expectation of how, even as a woman, how can I be in Saudi? And like down to what I wear and how I act and everything else. And I literally was like, England is way behind. Like Riyadh, Saudi is so ahead of the times. It's unbelievable. And what they have planned and what they've shown us, which I cannot even remotely refer to, is incredible. Like I say this everywhere, this is going to be an incredible fight. No, this is incredible. And what they've got planned.
For that whole 6-month season or 5.5 month season?
I can't see boxing going anywhere else.
I saw a 10-minute video the other day, though. I saw a 10-minute video put out by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, which just shows them building a Disney World and a Barbie World, and I won't be going to either of those. But having...
Why?
Well, I'll probably wander through at some point and have an ice cream.
I'll take you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll take you.
But there's I don't know. It's so huge.
I was blown
and
away.
our guys are opening it.
Yeah, I was blown away by it. Like the production meetings and all the meetings that are going on. Because I really don't want to slip and say something. All the meetings that are going on, I'm like, oh my God, am I really here? Is this really happening? There's no expense spared. And when you drive through where this is happening, there is a Disney World. There's all these things. And it's happening in this place. And I think that we're going to be going to Saudi for the foreseeable future, most definitely. And when you come back to England, you'll feel this. A lot of you that will go out there will come back to England and go, oh my God, we're so behind. Saudi's the future, 100%.
Mel Takimoglu.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining me today. What an insight into what we're going to be seeing in October. Great to see you.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Pleasure.
Inside the ropes, my thanks to all the guests today: Frank Warren, Joyce, Zhilei Zhang, Mel Takimoglu, and this fella, Matt Rich, the press officer and media guru for Queensbury. I really appreciate you. Thanks very much for your help today.
What's up, man?
Yeah, cheers, brother. You've been watching the first episode of Inside the Ropes. I'll be wandering around at another press conference, at another gathering of boxing brains to bring you more entertainment and fight talk and also cultural talk from the world of boxing. I'll see you later.